In today's video, we are going to talk about a machine which is often overlooked by the fans of the Battletech universe. Underappreciated and underutilized in games, today we are going to talk about one of the best medium mechs of the original 3025 setting. Today, we are going to talk about the Whitworth. A medium mech weighing in at 40 tons, the Whitworth was first built in 2610 with the intended role of being a scout, trying to take a place in terms of weight in between a Wasp and a Phoenix Hawk. This ended in abject failure, with the initial design being armed for close quarters engagements and moving at a standard speed of a heavy mech. What was discovered during this time was that the Whitworth, despite failing at its original task, had several virtues, namely that it had strong armor for its size, and reasonable staying power on the battlefield. Unfortunately for the Whitworth and the company that made it, Whitworth Company, they would largely not survive the Star League or the First Succession War intact. What remained of the Whitworths and their pilots joined various great houses during the Succession Wars, though most prevalently they were seen in the Draconis Combine at Federated Suns. Less than 300 Whitworths would survive to the end of the Succession Wars, though during 3035, just as the design seemed to be approaching extinction, even just by the virtue of having no spare parts being produced, a new company in the Draconis Combine named Whitworth Specialty Manufacturing would begin to produce parts and whole new machines for the first time in over 200 years, breathing new life into a design which had clearly stood the test of time due to their continued use. The original design of the WTH was in fact a mech called the WTH-1S, which was not the most commonly produced or deployed variant of the WTH during the Star League or the Succession Wars, which alternatively was in fact the WTH-1. It possessed an LTV-160 standard engine, which would provide the machine with a maximum speed of 64.8 km per hour, or 6 movement points in the tabletop. It also comes with 4 jump jets installed, which gives it the ability to leap up to 120 meters in a single action, or 4 X's in the tabletop. The Whitworth's speed is standard for the era it was made in, giving it adequate movement to keep up with most medium combat lances or heavy lances that it may be supporting. The benefit of having jump jets enhances its maneuverability to help it avoid danger or reposition to advantageous positions its movement may not have allowed otherwise. For heatsinks, the WTH has a total of 10 stock heatsinks, which is adequate for the design in either of its range brackets. For its weapons and armor category, the WTH-1 can surprise many onlookers. Its weapons package allows it to operate as a superb support mech, especially with its primary offensive weapons being a pair of longbow long-range missile systems, each with 10 tubes. These launchers offer it the ability to lob substantial LRM fire in support of medium combat lances, or to offer moderate support to a heavy combat lance if in a bind. For its short-range package, though not as impressive, it has 3 Intech medium lasers, giving it a reasonable ability to ward off other mediums and lights who may come too close. Overall, the weapons for the Whitworth are more than impressive for its 40-ton weight, and it can cycle easily at short or long ranges to not overheat itself unless it is consistently using its jump jets. Finally, for protection, the Whitworth is given an impressive 8 full tons of standard armor. This gives it some of the best protection in the 40-ton range bracket during the Succession War era, and allows the WTH-1 to stay on the battlefield for as long as needed to complete its operations. The WTH-1 is one of the best support choices for almost any unit which is hoping to either save C-bills, or for players looking to save battle value, but still being great at its dedicated purpose. In other words, it's great at what it does for what it is. To overlook the WTH-1 is perhaps to look past the mech that may deliver the killing blow on mechs which may feel far more valuable than this 40-ton warrior. Of course, the WTH-1 is not without variants, and it would see a series of retrofits, especially given that it itself is a retrofit of the original model, which is the WTH-1S. The original model of this war machine, the aforementioned WTH-1S, is a failed recon mech design, though many would find it had a second life during the Succession Wars as a medium skirmisher. It has twin short-range missile 6-tube launchers, instead of the long-range missile packages of the WTH-1. This design would also boost the mech's heatsink total to 14 with the weight difference, giving it a lethal close-range punch of 3 medium lasers and twin SRM-6s. The biggest flaw of this unit is its limited mobility, which can leave it dangerously exposed to certain skirmishers. By and large, it is considered a failure, but it does have its supporters, especially when placed in the right lance or company. The WTH-2 is the baseline upgrade for the WTH series during the Clan Invasion. It would remove 2 medium lasers and add in Artemis 4 fire control systems for its LRM-10 launchers to increase their efficiency. This is perhaps one of the instances where the upgrade package is inferior to the original design by and large. The lost tech craze of the era would leave this machine dangerously exposed at short ranges. Though there are later variants, the last one we will be talking about today is the WTH-2A, which has by and large the most advanced upgrades on the chassis. Built based on the idea of the WTH-1S, it would incorporate endosteel construction for its internal structure, and would downgrade 1 medium laser to a small laser. The SRM-6s would be removed, and its heatsinks would be turned into 10 double heatsinks. What it would gain, however, would be 4 SRM-4 Streak missile launchers, a C3 slave unit, and cases for its ammunition, increasing its survivability. Streak missiles are a great upgrade for the unit, especially given it will save ammunition, as Streak missiles do not fire if the mech, quote, misses, unquote, with their shots in-game, making the unit have more longevity in campaigns and battles. Overall, this unit is an excellent close-quarter shotgun, which can blast through multiple enemy mechs and seek out criticals or weak armor spots with the nature of its attacks. It's also noteworthy that this mech can make for a superb ambush unit under the right circumstances. The Whitworth is a venerable and worthy design in many of its configurations, either offering close-range devastation with the WTH-1S or WTH-2A variants, or by providing more than reasonable fire support for its era and weight with the WTH-1, though the WTH-2 does seem to lag behind its fellow designs. It's relatively heavily armored as well, meaning it can survive engagements longer than one might believe. The primary drawback overall for the Whitworth is its low speed for its weight. 64 kilometers per hour is not enough to escape trouble, and though it is well armed and armored for its weight, it may still find itself squaring off against mechs which are much heavier, which can easily keep up pace with it and destroy it before it has a chance to reposition or give flight. An underrated design by many, or perhaps even an unknown design by many, you can say after taking an honest look at this machine that it's not a worthy design. Thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. With that, I will catch you in the comments section below.